Peoples! I'm back with a video that isn't random ramblings. Okay, it might get a little rambly. You know, but I'll try. Also, my voice might get a little raspy because I was sick like a month ago at this point, and I still have problems with my throat. It doesn't wanna get past this. It seems to be a side symptom of whatever I had, because everybody who got it are still having problems with their throat. But that's beside the fact. Let's move on and actually get on with this, eh? So, as you can probably guess from the title, the video today is about my very first story. And I basically did everything you're not supposed to do. But I was 11, to be fair. So of course I'm dismissing little things that, you know, like if I was 6 and I made up some random gobbledygook or something, I'm dismissing those things because I don't exactly remember them. But this is like the first thing that I actually worked on, and I technically still work on it, though it's just something I do for fun. So, yeah, I did all the things you're not supposed to do. I had like a Mary Sue type character. I didn't exactly self-insert. I more like inserted my own personality into it, so I semi-self-inserted, you know. But keep in mind, these were just the mindless fantasies of a lonely and bored child who had nothing better to do. So, let's get started with the first one. She's the one in the middle, the one that looks a lot like Sailor Moon, now doesn't she? There's a reason for that. Her name is Serena. And yeah, this is what I meant last video when I said this could get a little embarrassing for me. So when I did on the first, how this whole story started was I was bored and I watched a lot of Sailor Moon as a child. And so what I did is, for fun, I started inserting Sailor Moon into like every show I liked. So I inserted her into like Inuyasha. I actually inserted her into some storybooks and stuff like that. And it was just for fun, like putting her personality in there and seeing what would happen. And that got boring quick because Usagi is a crybaby. She's kind of boring to put in there because all she does is just cry and cry and cry and cry. And she gets over it eventually, but like if she can't go home, I don't feel like, So eventually I got bored, and I started like warping the personality a bit, and basically warped her into a bit of my own personality at the time, which so, you know, she was like rash and stuff, and I also had a lot of anger issues back then, and, well, I didn't have anger issues, I was just angry. For reasons I'm not getting into right now, but I was just angry a lot back then, and so this ended up coming out and giving Serena anger issues. But yeah, so I basically inserted my own personality into the body of Sailor Moon. Hence why the first character I have looks a lot like Sailor Moon, and she has been revised heavily. The story itself on her part has been revised. She's not just like Sailor Moon with my personality. She is now her own character. I never redesigned her character because this is her. Not to mention, her name to me is Serena Moon, and I don't feel it's right for me to change that. But that's why my name, where the idea of moon comes from me, a lot of my names and stuff, I go with Moon because it's my go-to second name, so to speak. So yeah, that's where the name Moon comes from in a lot of my stuff. And it's also technically where the name Inyana came from, because technically when I was doing the whole Sailor Moon thing, I had already done the self-inserting personality thing on another character because I was watching Inuyasha at the time, and I was trying to figure out, you know, how fun it would be to be in the world of Inuyasha, and I didn't really insert myself into it, but I made this character who basically had my personality, and I was trying to think, what would her name be? And I was 11, and I didn't know that Inuyasha was Japanese. I knew it was anime and from Japan, but I didn't know Inuyasha was a Japanese name. And so I made Inyana, and it sounded a lot like Inuyasha. I was like, that's perfect. Don't mind my childishness as a child, well. But so, whenever I had Serena Moon and, well, Sailor Moon, and I was getting bored with her, I basically fused the two together. And yes, Serena Moon did have a run-in with Inuyasha, so to speak. I'm not getting into it because it's basically copyright. I basically, ripped off the whole story. I just, inserted her into their adventures. But this eventually became its own story. I mean, she still participated in everyone else's lives, but she also had her own story arc that was going on. Cue the redhead, Anixia Riddle. If you want to know where she origins from, she is the daughter of Queen Beryl. And you could probably guess the other one if you just know some popular stories and a character with the last name of Riddle. Why don't you give it a guess down in the comments? It shouldn't be hard. There's not a lot of popular stories from a decade ago that had a character with the last name Riddle. Not much less people who would sleep with Queen Beryl. So, Anixia was originally just kind of like the antithesis of Serena. So, Serena I had actually created into something I used to call as I still technically call them. It's just pretty hard to me. But they were Asmiatis, and they're basically god-like creatures. All powerful. Yes, I made her way too OP. It's for fun, okay? It's not actually a story. So I inserted, I created Anixia, and I had, the story I had for the Asmiatis is I went with something really stereotypical, and I went good and bad Asmiatis, and I separated them, and, Asmiatis' job, so to speak, was to make sure that Vein was fulfilled, so to speak, and, the good ones focus on the good parts, and the bad ones focus on the bad parts, and sometimes they tend to clash, and sometimes the bad actually taught me how to see correlations and themes in multiple stories without actually realizing it. Because Lily Ronda's last name is Uzumaki because I inserted her into Naruto, and then I inserted her into Fullmetal Alchemist, and then I inserted her into Yu Yu Hakusho. There's a running theme through all those stories about something that has to do with the ability to change people. So like Naruto changes the world around him through his personality. And Elric forges all these connections with people, and actually it's through these connections that they are actually able to avoid a fate that was basically dead. And there was also Yu Yu Hakusho. It's through his connections. Through his connections, he changed people, a lot of people. So there was actually a running theme through those. I didn't actually notice until I started inserting Lily Ronda and all these things. And so that I did this, and it kind of became, she was like the last character that became a part of my story-making education, so to speak, and there were quotes around that. And, I still learned after that, but these were like the last chunks into the main bulk of me being decent at stories. Until I went to school and I got the professional help, and then I was like, okay, so I combined my previous experience and then my current, my education experience, and I combined them together and actually made some pretty good stories. And to the point where my teachers often got mad at me because they were like, oh, hey, write a story with this in mind, and then we'll do a peer review later. And I'm over here 8 pages later, not even a fourth of the way through the assignment, and they're like, you can't peer review. You're trying to write a book. Stop it. I'm not making someone read that. But that's beside the point. Anyways, so Lily Ronda was originally supposed to be Against the Love, and I considered a situation where, to me, that didn't make sense anymore, because she used to be more about being romantic kind of love, or my put it just didn't seem a part of her thing in her personality anymore. And I was considering it, and I was fairly recently actually was able to edit it a little bit, because I realized something. She can still be the Asiatas I love. She can be of all kinds of love, platonic or not, because all those stories forge connections with characters. It was through their relationships that these characters prevailed. So she can still be the Asiatas I love, and that took me way too long to figure out. Mostly because I didn't think about it really that much, to be honest. And there are others that I've made, many more who are actually a lot more original. But they weren't like a huge part of me. These are like the core of me learning to make a story. And that's why I did it all in one. Some of the others weren't good also, but I'm guessing again, I'm probably going to be wondering why the heck did I do this video? I'm so excited for this video. I'm sure y'all are sick of me probably seeing all the stuff that I'm talking about. How some people feel about themselves, how some people feel about self-insert, how some people feel about all those things you're not supposed to do. Yeah, you're not supposed to do it in a professional setting. You're not supposed to do it in your actual those things. You should try to correct them. That's really a lesson for some, sarcastic reason. I think that's what it is. But in my opinion, the whole necessary that and self-insert always had a nostalgia towards these characters because, so, with that, like if you like,